Yeah, and this is the problem that Chelsea have, is that they're a team that is not able to sustain, able to put a 90-minute great performance. There will be games where you could see them, where they will put like a 45, 40-minute period performance where they're gonna look like, oh my god, they're fantastic. They're fantastic to watch. They're fantastic to play. But Chelsea are not a team that is able to put a 90-minute performance. They could put a 40-minute performance, a period of 45 or 35 minutes, but they're never able to put a 90-minute performance. Why is that? So that's something that Maresca and Chelsea players need to fix. Why they can't put a great performance like for the whole match? Why they don't? Why every match they do it for like some periods of the game, and then other periods of the game they disappear? Why is that? So something Maresca and Chelsea need to work on. And I mean, that's now what, 18, 16 points Aston Villa won from losing positions. And how much times we've seen Aston Villa this season where they in the first half it seems like they're conserving energy, and then the second half they just like, boom, we're gonna go for it, we're gonna attack, and then we're gonna pressure you and we're gonna beat you. It seems like a risky tactic from Aston Villa, but it has worked. It clearly has worked. So well done to Aston Villa, well done to Unai Emery. But going back to Chelsea and Maresca, I mean, they need to find a way. It's like, I know it's a young squad, it's an experienced squad. Like, it's not the first game that in the first half they look good, and then the second half they don't look that great. Against Newcastle they were all over the place in the first half, and the second half they were fantastic. Why they can't put a great performance over 90 minutes? I think the only performance where you could say, oh, they did perform well for 90 minutes was against Barcelona. Other than that, like almost most of the games that Chelsea plays this season, most of them where there were periods in the game where they were looking good, and some periods in the game where they're not looking great. Why is that? So they need to find that consistency, Chelsea. So yeah, and that top four, it's going to be difficult for them now. Top four is getting more tricky now for them, because now Liverpool is considering they're not looking that great. They are fourth in the Premier League, and they're 3 points clear of Chelsea, and Chelsea are 11 points with Manchester United as well. And if Sunderland win today as well, because they've got a game in hand, they'll go above Chelsea and Manchester United. So that top four hope is not looking. It's taking a blow for sure for Chelsea. So they need to get back to winning ways, and they need to start to wake up a little bit, because they've not been, their form, I'd say all season actually, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. So yeah. Now let's move on to AFCON. As yesterday's games in AFCON, there were 4 games. Benin beat Botswana 1-0. That's the first win for Benin in the history of a major tournament in the African Cup of Nations, which is strange. But congratulations for Benin, and it's a great moment for them. Senegal drew 1-1 with DR Congo. Sorry. Yeah, I think DR Congo deserved it actually, because defensively they were very, very strong. I don't think they were creating a lot of big chances going forward, but defensively they were very strong, and tactically I felt like they were like on par with the Senegal in this game in terms of tactically. So yeah, I felt like the manager of Congo got his tactics spot on, and he's kind of an experienced manager as well, because I believe he managed an African nation before, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know which team. I think it's called d'Ivoire. I don't know who, but he's managed. He's a guy that knows very well about AFCON. But they are Congo. I thought they put a good fight to Senegal. And Sadio Mane scoring in the 69th minute, a great finish from him. And it's a decent point for DR Congo, especially playing against Senegal, where most people expected Senegal to win the game. Congo managed to get a point. So yeah, as for the groups D, Senegal have 4 points, DR Congo 4 points, Benin 3 points. I think I still think Senegal and Congo should still qualify, but obviously there's more jeopardy for the Congo and Senegal in the final game, because they have to win. They can't rest their players, because they're not guaranteed to qualify, because Benin are just won their game with Botswana and they're 1 point behind Senegal and Congo. And then you've got the two other games in Group C. Uganda drew with Tanzania. Nigeria beat Tunisia 3-2. I mean, I don't know how that scoreline went to 3-2. I don't know how Nigeria blew away 3-goal lead, because the first half Nigeria were tearing Tunisia apart. That first half, and Tunisia were kind of sitting back. Nigeria had a great couple of chances before they scored the first goal from Usman. Usman scores the first goal, a great header. Another cross came in. I mean, Tunisia let so many crosses in that first half of me. But yeah, and they finally got punished towards the end. Great header from Usman before half time, 1-0. And Nigeria were dominating Tunisia in that first half. And then the second half, Nigeria continued their good performance. Second goal from Wilfred Ndidi, and then the third goal from Adaman Lukman. Lukman with that great cross for that first goal towards Usman, and then he also scored that third goal. And Nigeria were looking very, very strong, looking very good. They were playing really well, and they were dominating Tunisia. And then defensively, they looked very, very shaky towards the end. They somehow let Tunisia back in the game, where Tunisia, except the 2 goals they scored, they didn't do anything really. Talibi with the first goal, and then the second goal towards the end, the penalty, Al Abdi. I mean, Nigeria deserve to win, but I don't know how they let them back in the game, because for the entirety of the game, it looked like Nigeria were dominating Tunisia. So yeah, but Nigeria win the game. They win 3-2, a deserved win. I think they were the better team in general. They controlled the game, dominated the game, so deserved win. And it's a very important win, especially they had that another disappointment of not qualifying for the World Cup. They won the first game in the African Cup of Nations when they beat Tanzania 2-1. But this game, it's a big game though, against Tunisia, and they win 3-2. So a very good win for Nigeria. So well done to them. And as you look at the Group C, Nigeria are top. They qualified, 6 points. Tunisia 3 points. Nigeria already qualified, whereas Tunisia, they have to win to qualify for the last 16, because Tunisia and Uganda are 1 point behind them. So yeah, and then you look at today's games in AFCON. You've got a big game coming up, Ivory Coast against Cameroon. That's a very, very good game. Looking forward to it. And then you've got Algeria against Burkina Faso, which won't be easy game for Algeria. Burkina Faso could be a tricky side to play against. So yeah, let's see what happens. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.